Welcome, magical beings. April here on Learn Tarot and Witchery, and today, I got my Playful Heart Tarot in the mail. And if you watched my 7 Deadly Sins video, which was pretty funny, you'll know this was under my lust. It wasn't available until right after I filmed that. So I have the second edition here, and today I'm going to take you on a first impressions of this deck that I was so incredibly lusting over. It came just in time for my birthday. It arrived all wrapped up like a little birthday gift, and you can see even here she wrote on the card, "Happy birthday," and we'll definitely keep that, as well as the little paper that it came in for my tarot journal. And I want to let you know that in March I am doing a tarot journaling challenge where I'm going to give you prompts and cool printouts, and it's all free. All you have to do is sign up for it and you'll get the emails every week in your inbox. So if you've been wanting to do more of a deep dive into a deck or two, I want to encourage you to sign up for this. It's a super groovy box right here, and when you open it, I don't know if can you see that, it says, "You are loved." I like that this is eco-friendly right here, I think. So the first thing I noticed with the backs is that I'm going to be able to see whether they're upright or reversed. We'll see. If I normally don't even pay attention to the backs, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. And just to give you a little card, it's very bendy. It feels really nice. I don't know what this finish is, but it feels very, very nice. We start off with the Fool here, one of my favorite cards in the tarot because we are each the Fool. And again, it's why I got this deck is for the playfulness of it. It's just not so dire. It's almost like in most decks with the Fool, it's like, oh no, he's about to step off the cliff. But here they go joyfully off into the adventure of life. You know, it's almost like his pants are parachuting him. There's no fear. It's just really, really lovely. Sunshiny day. The Magician. Oh, I love this. Look at how her cloak becomes the lilies. Isn't that very, very clever? And she's making the magic. You see the little magic coming out of her hands. All right, let's look at this one. So the High Priestess, interesting, she chose to go with water, and then it looks like, what's this coming out of her mouth? It's almost like this stream of light as she dives down to get the treasure, but it's coming from her mouth. That is really unique. And then the moon up here, so it really gives that sense of going deep, deep in. The Empress. Isn't this lovely? She doesn't look pregnant to me. She just looks really happy. She's got a cat. Oh, 2 cats. I always love that. This feels like the abundance of the Empress, just really sweet, and yet she looks older. She's not a child, so she feels very self-possessed, which is what I think of the Empress as. How about you guys? Who struggles with the Empress? Anybody out there? I'm really starting to get a handle on it at this point in my life. The Emperor. Now this is the Aries card, so I always look at it. It's interesting. He's like kicked back. He's a little bit less forceful, and yet look, there's the pyramid with the eye, and there's the city. He's kind of drinking his coffee. Looks like he's in a computer chair of some kind. The Hierophant, and he does have his 2 sort of devotees. They're cats at his feet. There's a book back here that's kind of fun, kind of reaching up to this rainbow. And I like how the rainbow, look at this, the rainbow's coming off of his ears, so like off of his head and then out of his hands as well. And I like the outstretched hands reaching up to the heavens, kind of pulling down the heavenly knowledge to earth. Because the Hierophant really is about those systems, you know, that are being created within the realm for us to understand spiritual concepts on a very physical level. You know, in some ways it can be dogmatic, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, the Lovers. Oh, look, their kitties cleaning each other. That is really cute. Oh, that's really sweet, isn't it? Oops, just one. The Chariot. Now this is interesting. It's like she's carrying, she's got these messages. It's almost like this chakra staff. And I definitely feel the energy of movement on her. That's really sweet. And I look forward to digging into these. This is a first impression. Strength. Oh my gosh, this is really special. There's a tenderness here. You don't always see a tenderness in the Strength card. You kind of see that the animal is submitted or she's carrying that animal with her. But, in this one, you really see that there's friendship. What a wonderful way to take that layer of strength. And of course, this is the Playful Heart Tarot. This is about being playful with the tarot, which is why I got it. I really needed to move into understanding joy. And I also thought, or I believe, this will be a shadow work deck. The Hermit, look at his hat, is a skull, and it's also the Lantern. Wow. The Wheel. Yeah, I like this wheel. You've got the seasons, and then you've also got all the colors and her within it. And that is a revelation that I've had about the wheel, is that as the Fool, we stand at the center of the wheel. We are the axle. We are the point at which off things spin, and we have the ability to see different perspectives from where we are into different aspects or timelines of self. So I like that. Justice. Wow, this is really wild. Not sure what's going on right here. It's like open heart into, I don't know, it almost looks like a land, but then it almost looks sewed up. And then she's weighing it. There's a lot going on here. This will be one that I'll be diving into for sure. The Hanged Man. Oh, I love it. It's like a flower getting ready to unfurl. That's beautiful. What a great job. And everybody's like excited. Yay, it's almost your time. We're open and we're waiting for you. Woohoo. I love that. Okay. Death. Oh, and it's just sort of the passing away of the flower. All things must die and pass over. I'm looking forward to seeing how she does some of the heavier cards, because, there's some pretty heavy cards in the tarot. Temperance. So here she is mixing up a little rainbow elixir there from these rainbow fruits. Very cool. The Devil. Wow. Okay, that's really, really wild. I am not exactly sure what's going on in here. Is this some crazy cocktail that they are drinking from? Is this the devil and he's created this cocktail? Wow. They definitely look a little bit scarier. They've taken on those tails that we see in the typical Rider-Waite. The Tower. Wow. I'm glad that she didn't make them just smiling going, wee, because the Tower's not always like that, is it? The Star. Look at that. How beautiful. I love this effulgent spring down here beneath her as she flies through the air, and just these bursts of flowers, color, light coming out, sort of illuminating. Is it 1, 2, 3? Should be 9. Maybe that's the 9th right there for the constellation. So yeah, it's got the constellation in there. She's flying through the air. That's really lovely. The Moon. Okay, so this is a card that I always look at to see what's going on. And this is interesting because she's really shows this illuminated self within this dark place, and there are all sorts of shadows, and even this here is like, it's a little scary face. These hands are sort of reaching out, and she's being projected, what I would think, out of her own eye, like a single eye. So your third eye is looking out into the world. That is fascinating. I'm going to really look forward to being able to dive into meditating on this card a bit. There's a lot going on there. And the moon is a very elusive card because it is about illusory references to our being. And I sometimes find that that card is kind of silly in a lot of decks, but there seems to be a lot of depth here. There's a lot going on. The sun, and I'm glad that she has the twins on there, which is much more of the hermetic influence to that. This is the idea of the twin flame self, the divine feminine and the divine masculine in perfect consort working together, that sun image. Judgment, look at that. And she's calling them out with the rain. Is it like rain from little flowers? Wow. She's such a pretty angel. That's wonderful. The world. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So I don't know what to make of this one. I did get her little book. But I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to look at it just yet because I want to give myself some time. But that is not necessarily what I think of the world. So maybe as I go through the deck, I will see these characters and see why they're in here. Ace of Wands, bringing in that fire. Look at that. It's almost like he's got two tails for the Two of Wands. Three of Wands. I like this because it really shows how that fire is beginning to get going. Look, it's kind of reaching up to this stuff up here. It's different. Four of Wands. There they are at the party. And look at the dancing cupcake. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. No pun intended. Five of Wands. Interesting. So I like that there are all sorts of different faces going on here. It's almost like it's a race or a competition because you see the little flag up there. And then you've got the people sort of cheering them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're like different places that they're in. That's interesting to kind of show how there's a wrestling that goes on with the Five of Wands. And now here's the winner. So look at that. That's interesting. I don't know if they're back there. But showing them as the winner, Six of Wands, very traditional, heralding victory. Seven of Wands. So things are starting to get a little bit serious, and there's those outside influences coming up. Sometimes there's naysayers when we see the Seven of Wands that are in your life, and it's really about standing your ground for yourself. Eight of Wands. Look at that. He definitely got that speed going, and these are just the most interesting organic beings here that are going on. This is almost like a cactus. Yeah, it's cool. They're hearts. It's this carrot-like person. Nine of Wands, getting a little bit tired. Look at, he's kind of propping himself up. Ooh, it looks like he's maybe even got a little peg leg. 10 of Wands. Ooh, look at this. Like, ha ha ha, I'm so big, you can't even think about pushing me. I'm like, what are these back here, you guys? Are these like piles of poop? What is that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's really wild. But it definitely has that sense of trying really hard and just being very difficult. Page of Wands. Well, that's fun. Just like playing in the sprinkler. Knight of Wands. Got the energy of that. It's almost like this is a leopard that he's riding. Boy, he's having a good old time. That's definitely Page of Wands energy. Queen of Wands. Not exactly how I see her, but she does have the book. She's like studying and planning. The King of Wands. Again, creating. It's interesting that she has him overlooking a hospital. Or at least that's what I think of when I see the Red Cross. I'll have to look at that. It's like he's working with a model building. Different court cards there. Ace of Cups. Look at that. Look how fun that is, you guys. Super fun. Definitely have that like effulgence going on there. Two of Cups. I like this. This is one of the cards that I had seen ahead of time and I really liked. The two dolphins meeting each other, and it's like everything's lining up. Look at this little being up here that sort of signifies what's going on between the two of them. That kismet. Three of Cups. There's some celebration going on. Four of Cups. Interesting. You know, look at this. So this is really cool. It instead of showing just one person. So this is really, I really like this card immediately. This is such a difficult card to grasp, I think, from the way it's been portrayed most of the time. And this really shows it, that there's this aspect of like, we having a good time, and yet you're kind of on the outside, sort of burnt out. That fourth cup, just like, I'm not really drinking from my cup. I'm not really into it. I'm just kind of blah, you know. And his cup's over here. He could come be part of the party, or he could recognize that life is a party, and he doesn't have to be in this place of being bummed out, not engaging. Because the Four of Cups is really about this place where life has grown. You've grown weary of it. It's kind of like a Solomon in the Bible, King Solomon, who's, you know, gets to his Ecclesiastes days where he's like, oh, life is all doldrums and boredom and, you know, it's, you know, joy is like chasing after the wind, and it's just his I'm in such a bummer place. So this really, so far, this has been the card that stood out the most to me as being really good. Okay, then we've got our Five of Cups. I'm having trouble seeing what's really going on in this picture here. I will have to check that out more later. Okay, and there is so much going on in these cards. Six of Cups, look at this, remembering, it's like this rainbow and horse over here. I like that. And then there's like the pictures on the wall, which really talk about memory and even legacy. Seven of Cups. This is really cool. To me, this is like an ice cream machine. And like all the ice cream is coming at her and she's just not sure which one is the right one for her. And I like this. And then there's some, look at these faces over here. That's good. That's really good. Eight of Cups. So, yeah, look at this. Like everybody's like, they're all content to be over here. And he's just like, I'm out of here. Definitely conveys that Eight of Cups energy all the way. Nine of Cups. Look at that. That's definitely that joy and gratitude. 10 of Cups. As I've told you many times, for 2022, I am studying the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, the female cups. The female 10, excuse me, the female 10s, not the female cups. So I will really be diving into this. The children and the love. The two ladies together dancing. It's really sweet. Okay, the Page of Cups. Wow, this is cool. Look at all this stuff going on, all the voices, the music. It's almost like, oh my goodness, like the world just all around her singing to her, giving her these messages. It's just the world is technicolor and she's even privy to these other worlds. Oh, this is really good. This is a great Page of Cups. That is fabulous. All right, Knight of Cups. Interesting. I kind of like this energy coming off, and it's green, so it's almost like heart chakra energy coming off. She's riding a deer. Queen of Cups. Definitely all that watery energy there. King of Cups. He definitely looks groovy, doesn't he? The King of Cups is groovy, for sure. Ace of Swords. Now look at that. I kind of like, there's almost a serious look on the face for this swords, because there's a, you know, this sword suit's a little serious. Two of Swords. She's not blindfolded. This is interesting up here. It's almost like there's some revelation, just slightly clouded, trying to come through, which is, you know, when we get to the twos, we're definitely balancing ourselves. And in this point, at this point in the tarot, in the minor arcana, it is about balancing mental thoughts and choosing which way we're going to go. And so there's almost like there's this voice speaking to her, and you know, she just needs to decipher which way she's going to go. I really like the Two of Swords. It's a favorite card. Three of Swords, and you know, I did a video on this. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put it in the description box down below. Interesting. It's got like roses through it, and I like that in some ways. And then there is a sword, and then it's bleeding, and then I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually all these sad faces. The raindrops are sad faces coming out of the cloud. That's really well done. Four of Swords. He's kicking it. He's resting. Five of Swords here. Interesting. It definitely has this feel of chasing after something that is not in your best interest. It's not the right choice. I think the Five of Swords is that kind of being pushed into a corner, or feeling pushed into a corner. I should say feeling pushed into a corner, or pushing someone into a corner could be what you're doing. So I think this encapsulates the feeling of what's happening at that point, that I got to do something, and yet this seems kind of foolish, and this is overkill, which is a lot of times what happens with the Five of Swords. We have a response that's completely overkill, and a lot of times if we don't rein ourselves in, we're not happy with the mess we have to clean up. You have to be careful. The Six of Swords. Yep. Leaving, crossing over. Even looks like there's almost like a bridge. You're going from one type of landscape or road to a different color one. So I like that. Seven of Swords. Kind of absconding, I guess. They look a little shocked over here. Eight of Swords. So again, I got this because I really wanted to tap into the tarot in a very playful way. And I needed to do, or I'm moving into a season of shadow work. And I knew that I was going to need to, look at this. This Nine of Swords. I guess I should go back for a second. The Eight of Swords here. It's Eight of Swords is a hard place to be in. Look at the megaphone in her head, just playing stories that she just can't ignore, and it's torturous. And then we get to this point, and she's actually sleeping on a bed of nails, or he is sleeping on a bed of nails and being tortured by those thoughts. And so I wanted a deck, because I have a lot of really dark decks, and I'm actually going to do a shadow work decks video here. Who's interested in that? Let me know if you even made it this far. But I wanted to do something. I wanted to get something that was more playful, that would allow me to tap into myself in a way that I really haven't. And I talked about this, that Ten of Swords, that I was a very serious child, and even serious pretty early on in my life. And I'm really just coming into being a joyful person in what's going to be the second half of my life when I turn 50 on April 3rd. So I think that says it all. I mean, geez Louise. Page of Swords. I like how he's pointing a finger, and he's definitely aggressive. He's got the book. I know what I'm talking about. Do it my way. Jaggedy hair. Yeah, he's a little punk. He's coming on in. He's like, okay, hear me now. Hear me. This is the message. I've got it. And it may cut. And then you've got the Knight of Swords rushing in on this fire-breathing dragon, which is really cool. Probably going to get himself into some trouble. The Queen of Swords, interesting. She's a businesswoman, it looks like. Something going on over here. I'm not exactly sure what that is. King of Swords. It's interesting. Got an ace in his pocket. Kind of holds the cards. Got the martini. This is a really good feel for the King of Swords. She's really good at emoting. Okay, and now we're to my favorite suit, which is Pentacles. And there's the Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. That is the joy of the Ace of Pentacles, of the world opening up to you. Look at that. She's taken traditional symbolism and really worked it. And that really works. It's bringing things into perspective, balancing them. It's really good. Oh, this Three of Pentacles collaboration. Look at this. That is just sweet. The three of them growing together, side by side, sharing their root system. That's really good. The Four of Pentacles, kind of sitting on what she's got. It's all locked up. Five of Pentacles. This is good. This really, the fives are such an interesting contrast, such a choice point in the minor arcana. And this really shows that choice. Like, are you going to move on? Are you going to remain stuck? Can you choose? Are you willing to make that choice for something else than what you've been doing? Six of Pentacles. That's really sweet. The Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. Why is he spraying? We have an organic farm, so I'm like, why is he spraying? He just seems kind of bummed. I guess there's an impatience to the Seven. You really have to understand what season it is and wait on your harvest. This is kind of interesting. I'm not entirely certain I like this rendition of the Seven of Pentacles, because there's a fullness to the Seven of Pentacles. You just don't quite have it in your hands yet. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm into organics and I feel like he's spraying something. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles. Nice. It's interesting. I'm not sure that this shows mastery quite so much. The Nine of Pentacles. Look at that. That's a great Nine of Pentacles. She's like in her garden and loving it. I'm not sure what kind of bird she's got there, but she does have one. She's in her garden. Life's good. Ten of Pentacles. And this stacking sort of shows the generational aspect of the Ten of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite tarot cards, at least currently, probably for the last year. And I like this one. I like it. I love that she's got a tail, that she's got a fox tail, first of all, and she's got her knife, and she's just out there, and she's in her element, and she gets it, and she's grounded. She's got little ears on her. She's like a part of the land. And yet there's something innocent about her, which there should be in the pages. There's an innocence there that I think is conveyed, but the Page of Pentacles in particular is incredibly innocent. And there's something so precious about this energy. When this shows up in my spreads, I'm just like, oh yes, thank goodness, because this means I'm going to connect in some way that's very natural and right and intrinsic to who I am, and in a tender way. There's a tenderness there. Knight of Pentacles. Look at that. She chose an ox. I love that. Instead of something fast moving, because this is, of course, the slowest moving. It's the slowest moving element, but it's also the slowest moving knight. And yet plowing, moving forward, moving methodically. Really good. Queen of Pentacles. I love it. She's got a cornucopia, and it looks like she's got is this a quiver of arrows back there? Or no, maybe it's grain she's holding. Maybe she's got the sheath of grain on her back. And then she's kind of being carried. Look at that. I like that. King of Pentacles. Wow. I like that. That's really good. Done well. I like this up here. They're crowning him. Okay, we're almost there, you guys. Things are easier than you think. Oh, so these are the extra cards. So not only do I have these extra cards, but I also have some other extra cards. So things are easier than you think. Yes. Embrace your inner child. You are free. And I probably will keep these in. I know that not everybody does, but I probably will go ahead and let them just be a part of the deck. I know some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, sacrilege. No, it's 78 cards and nothing else. But I got this deck specifically for this reason. So take the first step today. I like that. You are not alone. And here are the extension pack that I ordered. I ordered everything. I got the whole shebang. I got stickers. I got it all. Got the guidebook. So this one says, Trust Life. Let's turn these over so we're not confused. Trust Life. Look at that. She's like, yeah, I totally get it. Explore true abundance. Wow. True abundance. Not just explore abundance, but explore true abundance. That's a really great qualifier to get you beyond being materialistic or, diving into immediate gratification. That's really thought-provoking. Relax into not knowing. Ooh, always a good message. Let it go. Say goodbye. Sometimes we gotta do that. And there's a dark rain cloud. That doesn't always feel good, does it? Saying goodbye. Love, accept all of you. Love and accept all of you. I like this, kind of like these different aspects of self. Ooh, just gonna go back. And there's like this divine love coming in. It's almost like the collective mind, the oneness pouring into her. Wow, you got it. Yeah, I love these. There's a lot of extra cards, but I'm just digging it. Maybe what I'll do is pull these cards off. So there's 11 cards here. That's a lot. And I may pull them off and kind of put them in a little separate thing to use in conjunction with this as sort of an oracle deck and see how that plays out with this deck. This is a really special deck to me, you guys. I feel like I'm embarking on something very special and tender. I'm going to do a deep dive on this deck. So at some point in the future, I'll have a month where I take you on a journey into this deck and the spreads that I do and my journaling and what I get out of it. But I'm really looking forward to getting to know this part of myself through the beauty of this deck. Thanks so much, Kittenchops. I'm really excited to get into this. If you made it this far, you guys give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you that are here and all of you that come back, and I would totally recommend this deck. I think this is a great deck. I know it's very different than most traditional decks, but I think this deck has a place in your home if you're looking to discover joy, if you're looking to play, and if you're looking to uncover the parts of your child self that maybe need some extra love. I think this is a wonderful deck for that. You can check out these other videos over here, or you can check me out on my other channel over here where I read tarot and find out what's in the cards for you. Until we meet again, blessed be.